Good morning to anybody who's watching this video after the fact. It's morning here, just about 6 a.m. So, good morning. You might be watching this in the evening time, though. As always, in these first few moments, if you're watching this video recorded, then there's always a gap here for people to join in live. So if you want to skip ahead a few minutes. Hi, Linda. Good morning. You can skip ahead a few minutes and get right to the workout. Farah's here. Oh, Farah's here. You might notice I'm holding a pig in my hands. That's because Farah threw this at me. I'm going to throw it back at her in a minute, and it might come back at me in the middle of the workout. So if you guys can handle a little playfulness on the part of the... Hi, Deborah. Good morning. Get the pig back over there by the camera. I'd like to wait a few minutes while people join in before I start giving you the whole intro, but for those of you who are watching at the moment, we're following the same format. Hey, Larry. Following the same format we've been following all along. Just tweak the exercises a little bit, add a little variety, a little more challenge. Everything we'll do, we're going to stay with the sort of slow, methodical approach. So we're thinking about... Who? I'm sorry? Oliver, good morning. Welcome. So everything we'll be doing today we'll do with a slow, methodical a focus on the technique, especially some of the more advanced push-ups I'm going to do with you today, where we're doing some asymmetrical moves. We'll be doing some slides and changing our hand position a little bit. So I really want you to focus on trying to do those movements correctly so that you're not overdoing it. At the very end, we're going to be doing something called a power push-up, and I'll make sure to give you variations on those things, but we're going to ramp it up a little bit. The Cobras aren't in the workout today, although Farah is threatening to add them to the end because she's mean. This is why two trainers living in the same house is a bad idea. By the way, who feels like they're getting stronger through this whole episode? Right? I've actually found myself doing a little bit more exercise and a little more creatively. Hi, Mary. I'm going to make a pitch again for sporadic, intermittent exercise. That is to say that doesn't mean you don't do workouts. Workouts meaning a set amount of time that you put aside and you do a bunch of exercises in a block of time. But who? Dara, good morning. But that one way to get in your activity is to compile it over the course of your day. So wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, do 10 push-ups. Go brush your teeth, do your thing, eat breakfast. An hour later, do 20 push-ups or something, right? And then I have a pull-up bar. I do 5 pull-ups before I go up the stairs. I do 5 pull-ups when I come down the stairs. So they're just kind of happening throughout the day. And that is another way to get in movement and activity, especially in a really bizarre time when your schedule's not really what it usually is. Okay, now that may not apply to everybody, but it certainly does for me. I'm basically in my house, and I'm not going to different places, so it's a little different. When you go to a new place, it's easier to say, oh, I'm in a new place. This is the time and the place where I do exercise. And then you do it, and then you leave, and it's your routine. So creative ways of getting activity, right? Intermittent, sporadic activity spread throughout your day. All right. Let's get ourselves warmed up. We'll assume everybody's here who's going to be here. You can always go back and watch this again from the video archive. I was going to say, because we store these all on Facebook. So just get your arms swinging. Round 1 and 2 today are the easier exercises, so we're going to stick with our vanilla push-up like we've already done. I'm going to go up and down with one arm just like this. We're going to switch our crisscross to a Russian twist, and then our leg exercise is just a good old vanilla air squat. Okay, so round 1 and 2, not so bad. And when we get to round 2 or 3 and 4, go ahead and give me some twisting. We're going to do a staggered push-up, so that means our hand position is going to change, and we're going to be switching from one to the other, right? Trying to make that move a little asymmetrical. Then we're going to be doing an exercise called thread the needle, switching from one side to the other. And then we're going to do a single leg exercise that's going to work on your balance. Go ahead and start lifting one knee up nice and high, where you're reaching down and touching the floor, balancing on one leg. Rounds 5 and 6, we're doing a really challenging push-up. I'm calling it the low slide. We're going to get down into push-up position, and you're going to shift from one side to the other before you come up. It's really challenging to stay down there in that position. Then we do a kind of a Superman exercise, working on the back, the glutes, hamstrings. Hey, Myra. Good morning. Then our leg exercise in round 5 and 6 are skaters, big jump side to side. Farah tells me, Larry, that these are your favorites. And then for 7 and 8, we're doing a power push-up. That is an explosive movement, followed by a holding position in the boat. I'll explain that when we get there. And then we're going to borrow something right out of my karate training, and we're going to work on some horse stances and some forward stances and some of the stuff that I do in my martial arts practice. And then we'll be done. That is until, keep lifting these up, until Farah throws some bonus rounds at us. All right, keep yourself moving around. Let me see some jumping jacks. And the first round is also going to help us with the warm-up. So we just want to get your body nice and loose, get the blood flowing. I want that warm-up to be super intense, just enough to get your breathing a little harder, get your heart rate up, get the body temperature to start lifting. All right, now taking something out of an exercise, I'm just going to do kind of a skater, right? Nice and high, though, right? So I'm just twisting. It's a way to set this movement down so that you know what it's going to be when we do it. So all I'm doing here is hopping across the room, and then the back leg goes behind me. Notice how I'm swinging the arms. I'm going to make that, part of the exercise when we do it. I want to lead any of these kind of movements with my arms. Just a couple more, and then let me introduce you to the stance part of this. This is what we'll do at the end. So we have a stance in a karate class called the horse stance. I'm going to slightly turn my toes out, bend my knees, and sink down and try to open the knees up. So I'm really open here, sinking. So just do a few in that position. Hold the bottom, and then to shift, you'll twist your feet, bend the front leg, and straighten the back leg. So this stance, we call this a forward stance or a forward leaning stance. All the body weight shifts into the front leg. And then our goal in that move will be to stay low and then transition. So both feet twist when I do this. The toes on my right foot here are aligned with my knee. The back foot twist, I'm kind of pushing the heel out and turning my hips into this, and then trying to sink down nice and low. So I'm loading up that front leg, extending the back leg. Okay, so this is something you'll see a little later. Now, one thing I'll point out before we get into our round, I'll make sure my speaker's on. So you're going to hear the beeps. All those push-up exercises that we'll do today, the quickest modification you can do is to drop your knees on the floor. Okay, so if you're finding yourself really tiring out, you put the knees down and do the same motion from that position. Just remember, with the knees down, keep the body in line. So we're not bent like this, we're straight. Okay, that's the goal. And as always, when you can't lift yourself up, you can always just do the negative. Okay, the negative is always an option. And I'd say that's true for a lot of exercises. When you're burned out and you can't do the lift anymore, you get yourself in position and they do the negative. All right, so we're down for push-ups. Vanilla push-ups. Remember, hands just outside the shoulders, elbows pointing to the back, going down slow, and then coming up quick. So we're trying to make each push-up last about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pop up on 5, nice and slow. So, like I said before, you can always put the knees down, do the same motion with a nice straight body. So you notice in this position, my knees are down, but my hips are in line with my knees and shoulders. So I'm not doing something like this, all right? Not to say that this isn't work, but we're trying to keep the body lined up. So we're getting the abs in on this, getting the glutes and the hips in on it, so that if I really work to hold this straight position, I've got everything doing some work. You can always Ooh, always modify when you need it. Of course, you can always rest. All right, so we flip over for a Russian twist. So I'm going to go feet on the floor to start this, and all I'm doing is leaning back at an angle and twisting. I like to pull my hands like this, bring them around. Now, you could add a weight to your hands, but since we're doing the boot camp class, we are sticking to body weight movements. Now, a way to modify this or to add a little difficulty to it, so I've got my feet on the floor and I'm doing my twist. If I lift my feet off the floor and try to add a little balance to this, that makes it a little more challenging. So you can always put the feet back down midway. And again, I'm going slow here. I'm not cranking out a ton of these. What I'm really focusing on is maintaining my alignment and just twisting. So right here, I am pulling myself with my obliques to get into this position. Then I'm pulling myself over the other way. So I'm trying to, I'm not thinking about this as just swinging. I'm pulling with my abs, focusing on getting them in. All right, and then we get up for air squats. So just face the front, drop down, and then come up. Remember, everything is slow today. So when I get at the bottom of this, I want to hold it and then come up slow, right? Get down, come up slow. Remember to reach the hips back. Use the hands out in front of you as a counterbalance. You only need to get down so that your hips are level with the knees. But if you've got it in you to get lower than that, that's okay. We're doing body weight here and slow. So now, those of you maybe with fake hips, there might be one or two of you out there. The depth of this actually might be limiting for you. So you might not want to go below knee level. It's one of the interesting facts about my device, the Birmingham hip resurfacing. There's a physical limit to how far I can go. I have to learn that limit. All right, round one is over. Not so bad. I'm feeling nice and warm. Keep some water. We got 45 seconds of rest here, so I'm going to take a few sips while I'm doing that. So, sip, sip, sip. All right, we're going to repeat that again. So you can add a little challenge to this by lengthening the duration of your drop, coming up faster. You could pick up the pace a little bit on the push-ups. You could do the same with the twist and the squat. You can modify this into ways that sort of suit your taste. I'm going to stick with slow. I really like the negative work because it really allows me to focus on the alignment. So with a push-up, see where my elbows and my hands are, right? Try to maintain that line. And don't you worry, the push-ups coming later get a lot harder. So you enjoy round one while you can. Nice slow descent. Pop up. Another thing I want you to try to do is get full extension of the arm. So when I get to the top of this, I don't want to lock my elbows, but I want to get them straight enough so that I can tighten up the triceps so that I'm including them right at the top here. Flex the triceps. Whew. And as you get stronger, you add a little bit to this movement. So I'm actually pushing through the shoulder blades here at the top of that move. I'm trying to activate a muscle called the pectoralis minor and the serratus anterior. That you like hearing muscle names. All right, turn it over for Russian twist. So feet down or feet up, your choice. Right? I'm keeping them down for the moment so I can focus on that pull from the obliques in the twist. Think about doing body weight moves is you can sort of create your own resistance with a lot of focus on tensing the muscles you're trying to exercise. Now, I've lifted my feet up now. Adds a little challenge. I'm trying to bring my hands all the way to the floor on each side, but, I could just do this. No, I want to twist the body as far as I can. So whether the hands get down isn't as important as I've gotten the max range of motion in my rotation. So focus on it. Are you going as far as you can? Just holding this position is feeling pretty challenging. All right, get ready to get up for air squats. So hands reach out in front, drop it down. You check out your toes, turn them out slightly, about a 20-degree angle. You get your protractors out so you can measure that. Right? And then drop down, keep the knees in line with the toes, and then come back up. So I'll hover at the bottom for a moment. And when I come up, I'm going to sort of focus on two things. I'm going to push out against my feet on the floor. We call that spreading the floor. So I'm pushing outward like this, heels digging in, squeezing up, and I'm really trying to focus on flexing the glutes at the top, right? So I push out, squeeze. Not hyperextending here, just coming up straight, right? So push, spread the feet. That's really cool. When you push out against the floor, it loads up the glutes and the quads a little differently. Bonus rep. Right on. All right, rest period. So we're going into round 3 and 4. Quick review. Staggered push-ups. So now what we'll be doing is alternating the hand position. One hand will be forward, one hand will be back. You'll press, right, and down, right, at the top. You shift, right, come down, come up, and then you shift. Okay, and you can do that just by walking. So if you can see my hand position here, I'll drop down, come up, step, step, down and up, step, step, okay? Then we go to threading the needle. So you'll be on one side, coming under, coming up, and then you'll switch sides and come under again. Right? So let's go to the staggered push-up. So down slow in that staggered position, come up, switch, right? Down slow, come up, and then switch. Now I said, you may remember, at the end of this routine, round 7 and 8, we're doing a power push-up. The staggered push-up has a power version where instead of switching in a step like this, you come down and then you jump switch. Okay, don't do it. Right? At least, no, I know some of you already tried it, right? So, but I want to give you that idea because, right, I can pick up the pace of that little switch in different ways. And the power version is the sort of top of that. Again, could be done from the knees. Down, switch, switch. Down, switch, switch. Okay, so then we're doing that thread the needle. So as soon as you hear the 3 beeps, stagger your stance, feet nice and wide, up on an elbow, reach this arm through and under. So I'm going to rotate, reach way under, come up, put my elbow down, and then switch to the other side. Coming up, reaching through as far as I can, coming back up, right, back into a hover, and then you switch over. Keep the feet wide here. It'll help you in the transition. So center here, nice wide feet, and then I just let my feet roll so they're on their sides. And then shift back. Now, if you find that leaning on your shoulder like this is a little challenging, again, you could drop down to the knees, right, and do this whole thing with the knees on the ground. So I've got my knees kind of far apart, and I'm just modifying to take a little of the weight out of the arm. Ugh. All right. Then we're on our feet. Okay, I forgot to modify. So here, balance on one foot. Bend down. Reach opposite hand for the floor. And then come up. Let's do 2 more of those. Right? Stay in this kind of half squat position. So when I come up, the leg stays bent. Right? Some of you did Farrah's class. You probably are accusing me of stealing this from her, and you'd be right. Switch sides. 3. Right? Bend down. But I really like this move a lot. Staying in the squat position, loading up the quad, and then trying to reach, loading up. This is one of those movements that's limited by my device here. I can feel it. Oh, that's it. 3 times, switch legs. Get in the hover, hold it. Tip at the hip. Come back up. Hinge. If you need to, that back foot could be on the floor like a little kickstand. Now I'm going to do one more on the other side during my rest here. It's another bonus to the 45-second rest period. Gives you a few seconds to do extra moves to balance out. All right, there we go. A little rest. Okay, so staggered push-up, alternating thread the needle, and then We call that exercise the half squat, half deadlift, right? You stay in that low squat position and you try to hinge at your hip while maintaining this position with the leg. Staying loaded, right? Time under tension. All right. You ready? Staggered push-ups. And always put the knees down if you need it. The idea here is to try to load the arms up at different angles. Now, one thing I will say, what I don't want to do when I do this is push my elbow really forward because I don't want to feel a stress in the shoulder joint. If you're cranking your arm forward when you're dropping down like that, you're loading your shoulder up in a way that could be a little unhealthy. So try to keep your elbow, shoulder alignment so that you're not twisting into that shoulder joint with your arm. Now, what I mean is that, see, as I go down, I'm kind of pushing my elbow forward like that. Now, keep it towards the back. You can also kind of load up one hand a little more with this. It's a precursor to doing one-arm push-ups. Is that some kind of a hint? It might be. You guys want to get to the point where you can do single-arm push-ups someday? Alternating thread the needle. So, reaching up. Twist, open, hover, and then roll to the other side. Twist, open, hover, right? So I'm on my toes, roll to the other side. Here's my cat coming in to say hello. There we go. Luckily, she didn't come right over here. I'm surprised she hasn't, actually. They do like to get in the shot, though. Cranking through these a little faster. Just a steady, slow pace. I am not rushing. 10 seconds. I could feel some heat building up in the body. All right, on your feet. So half squat. Get in that balanced position, squat down, then hinge at the hip. Try to keep the back flat, right? So I'm not rounding in my spine. I'm tipping forward from the hip, coming up. You know, if you need to put your foot down to catch your balance, go ahead and do it. That's fine. 3, then switching legs. So in the crouch. 1, and then come up. Trying to come up as far as I can to see if I can get completely vertical. 2. Boy, I can really feel this new hip is really interesting, learning how to balance on it. I don't recommend that you go through it, but it is an interesting experience. So you can live vicariously through the people you know who've had it done. But it's fascinating, right? This whole new part in there. All right, I'm going to finish this set with the little bonus time here. So I've done a balanced number on each side. Okay, shake it out. All right, so rounds 5 and 6. All right, the low slide push-up. I'll give you a quick demo here. You're going down slow in that push-up, and then what you're going to do at the bottom is shift your body weight over to one side as far as you can, and then slide to the other side, come back to the center, and then come up. Okay, so it's down, slide to one side, slide to the other side, center, and then up again. Then we do a little Superman pull down, which is we go to a Superman position and we pull back, and then we'll have a skate. Then we have the skaters. Okay, so low slides. Here we go. Down, shift your body weight to one side, shift it to the other, come back to the center, and then come up. As always, you can do this on the knees. Now I'm going to lead going to the opposite side, as I did last time. And then up. Whew. Right, so down low, smooth, slide over, slide up, slide back, and then push. Whew. Down, right, kind of hover. Now, I'm only going so that my body is at the same level of my elbows, okay? Don't have to touch the ground. Once my body's at elbow level, right there, see that? See how my body and my elbows are in line from the back? That's to the point when you start sliding. Down, slide, slide,
A little wider hand position will help with this too. Again, from the knees is an option. Ooh, long time under tension here, right? All right, Superman with a pull down. So just lie on your stomach, lift your hands and feet, tilt your head forward so you are neutral. I'm not looking forward like this. And then lift the hands, squeeze back, and then bring it forward. If you need to, you can flop down for a second in between, or you can just stay, as long as you can handle this. Oh, so right here, lifting, flexing my butt, pulling my shoulder blades together, pulling my elbows back towards my hips. I want to feel all that back muscle kick in, and then reaching forward, trying to fully extend the arms. If you need a break, drop down, and then do it again. So I'm trying to get all the parts going. The exercises like this that get your whole body going, give yourself a checklist, right? So legs, butt, abs, shoulder blades, arms, right? I just give myself a little list of the things I'm working, and then I run through my checklist to make sure they're all doing their thing. Okay, skaters. So start in this cross position and then leap across. Try to get low. Get the front hand to touch the floor opposite the front foot, right? So I leap, leap, leap. Now I'm trying to stay fairly low when I do this, okay? So don't stand up and then come down like this. No, I'm going to switch and switch. So see how I'm staying low. Look at the arms. The arm swing should lead the whole thing. Opposite, opposite. And I'm just trying to touch down. Again, I can get the floor with my right hand going across, but my left hand, can't get down there. The hip stops me. Whoo! It's fascinating. Ooh. Nice, constant, slow and steady, right? Try to go as big as you can with each skate. All right, rest and recover. Whew. How we doing? We hanging in there? Getting the heart rate up? A little bit of water. So go through that again. The low slide. You're like an inch off the floor with your chest. You shouldn't be touching. Remember the alignment. I go a little wider with my hand position in the low slides too, so that I've got a little more range to shift from one side to the other. Another way to start working on loading each arm on its own. Getting ready for those one-arm push-ups, right? Later. Here we go, low slides. Whoop, down, slide to the right, slide to the left, center, and lift. You should try talking while you're doing this. Slide to the left, slide to the right, center, lift. You don't have to do a lot of these. It's all about hanging out in this position with your chest muscles loaded up with the work. It's not about the number of reps. Whew. It's just about the work. And feel things starting to shake. Nice and slow, methodical, right? Put yourself through it. You can always put the knees down. Straight body. Right? Nothing wrong with that. It's still work. Whew. Try one more straight. Oh, wait. All right. Superman with a pull. So glutes, abs, shoulder blades, arms, squeeze back. So back here, I am pulling my elbows back hard, trying to feel the lats kick in, right? Then we go overhead, shoulders, deltoids, whew, lower back, glutes, hamstrings, all of it. Nice and slow. You can go through these at your own pace. Remember, when you reach extension, if you need to take a second, put everything down, but don't stay there too long. Now, I said abs. What I mean by that is that I'm sucking my belly button up off the floor. There's no way really to show it to you. But when I go up into this position, glutes, abs, I pull the belly button in, pull the shoulder blades back, and then squeeze. That's trying to hold my belly button in the whole time. Whew. Ugh. All right, skaters. Here we go. So, load up, head up. switch, and get low in that stance. So that back leg really reaches back, trying to bring that front hand outside my toe, and then just let them go. So, right, if you're doing it like a little step like this, it's not going to be as much work, so start stretching the length and size of that step out. Jumping across. So how far can you travel with each skate? It's a power move. So I don't have to do, I could do bang, 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 and I'd want you to build up to that eventually. But really, each rep is a whole exercise all by itself. You know, yep, I did that one right. Yep, I did that one right. Oh, that was a terrible rep. Right? So every time you do this, you're trying to improve your technique. Twist the body. Twist the body. All right. Rest. The legs are feeling a little rubbery. But have you noticed any improvement? Even though I'm doing some variations in different exercises, I will tell you that today I feel stronger and more capable than I did on the first day we did this together. So I'm seeing some changes, especially in upper body strength, right? The muscles are reawakening. Okay, so power push-ups. Okay, it's like doing a jumping jack with your hands on the ground, right? So I recommend you do this one from your knees, right? I'm going to push up, bring my hands together, come down like a diamond, push up, bring them apart. Okay, so I'm going 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I'm doing this from my knees on purpose. I want to emphasize the ability to push myself off the ground. You can step, 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 step. Okay, if you're feeling gung ho, you're gonna burn out fast. Then the knees go on the ground. Whew. So when I burn out, I'm stepping in, diamond, stepping out, wide push-up, stepping in, diamond, oh, stepping out, push. Okay, so when there's nothing left, stay on the knees for this. Oh, gosh. All right, coming up in the 10 seconds, you keep going. We're going to flip over on our back and do a hold in a boat position. So, flipping it over. I'm going to move my microphone. We're going the boat. Okay? Legs up, shoulders up, head up. Hollow out your abs. And then, arms overhead. Whew. And we just hold it. Now, modifications. Low back feels a little strained. Pull the knees in and just shift in a little more so you're unloading the back, but still holding the ab pull. Keep going. I'm just fixing the equipment here. All right, there's my hold. So if I can do this with legs extended and it feels no strain on the back, I'm okay. The way to prevent that is to really pull the abs in and make sure you're trying to tip your pelvis back just a little bit so you're loading the abs up with the work rather than allowing it to open up. And so all the weight of your legs is cranking on your pelvis and straining the low back. So, you can bend the knees for a little modification. All right, right up on your feet for that horse stance, forward stance transition. So, horse stance, wide feet out, toes turned out, knees open, and then shift. Forward stance, try to get low, right? This is all about staying low. Your feet have to twist with this. Now I'm wearing sneakers on a carpet, so it's a little tougher to pivot on this surface. But I want to make sure the feet turn with me. So when I turn into this stance, the toes and the knees on this foot are aligned. On the back foot, I'm pushing that heel into the ground, sinking my weight in, shift back to the center. Ooh. Stay low. The room is only this tall, right? Your head can't go any higher. So you just stay in this low position the whole time. Spend a couple seconds in each position before you switch. I would do this barefoot. All right, you get a 45-second rest. Whew. We've got one more round of this before Farah throws some bonus work at us. Thank you, Farah. How are we doing on time, by the way? I want to make sure I don't overlap into Pete's time. We don't want to impose on planks with Pete. Gonna give him all his time. All right, so power push-ups from the knees. Okay, do them from the knees. If you want to try some up on your toes, you're only gonna get a few, okay? But from the knees, I'm purposely taking a little of the weight out so I can focus on a good powerful thrust, right? Ugh, diamond, wide push-up, diamond, wide. Remember, if you don't want to jump, you can just step, right? Your hands can walk in, but walk them in kind of quickly. Walk, walk, right? Walk, walk. And of course, you got to go at your own pace. So if you have to go slower than that, that's totally fine. You're trying to build and grow gradually, right? Don't worry about what you can do right this moment. Focus on what you will be able to do later because of the work, okay? Keep going. Farrah's telling me to keep going. Hey, who's running this class? Which you don't know is that having me teach this is just a sneak away of Farrah doing one more class. Oh, whew. Okay, the boat. Flip it over. Assume the position. So the legs are extended if I can, or bent for a little, right? And I can bring them all the way to this position for, really releasing the lower abs. But if I want to load them up, I just start moving the feet away a little bit. And once you find a position that hits you challenging or enough challenge, you can hold it there. You can hear me shaking. You see the microphone? Whew. I am very focused on pulling with my abs here. I'm not just sitting here. I am actively tensing. Whew. See that? See how I've lifted myself up? Oh, the knees don't have to be straight. If you can lock them out, fine. But remember, the low back is your limiter here. So when you feel like it's straining a little, you can come out, give yourself a break, and then load back up again. All right, on your feet for the horse stance to forward stance transition. Get as low as you can here, right? Get your butt level with your knees, no lower. Then when you shift, weight's all on that one side, right? Load it for a couple seconds, come back to the center, load both legs up evenly, switch to the other side, load up that front leg. So spend a couple moments in each position, anchoring yourself. Remember to turn the feet so that they twist with your body. Right now my belly button is facing this corner, right? Back in low. Just doing like a 1 count or a 2 count in each position. The hands are out there as a counterbalance. If this were a martial arts class, we'd be up on guard like we're getting ready to fight. Okay, Farrah's flashing the bonus sign at me. All right, so take a second. Here we go. Here's our bonus round. You ready? I know you love them or you love to hate them. 10 cobra push-ups, followed by 10 burpees, finishing with 50 jumping jacks. Let me go through that again. 10 cobra push-ups, 10 burpees, 50 jumping jacks. Are you ready? I'm ready. What was that again? Somebody tell me. Yeah. Farrah's giving you the list. All right, let's assume the position. When I say go, we'll start together. If you get done with the whole thing, you comment on your Facebook page there. Done! Exclamation point times 5. All right, here we go. The Cobra, 10 times. 1, 2, 3, go. That's 1. 2, 3. I'm going to count out to give you a little 4. Something to measure yourself by. 5. Try to do a full range of motion here. That was 6. I'm on 7. This is number 8. 9. 10. I'm on the burpees. Oh boy. 1, These are going to be slow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's jumping jacks. That's 10. That's 20. 30. 40. I'm done. Oh, how we doing? Oh boy, that feels good in a painful kind of way. Try not to breathe on the microphone. All right, everybody. Look, planks with Pete is next. I don't just want to stop you cold. So keep moving. Keep moving. If you're switching right to Pete, right, keep your body moving, okay? Don't sit still. Do some stretching, right? Open up the pecs by pulling back, right? Some side stretches, some quad stretches, right? Hamstring touch, toe touches. Just get your body loose. Keep it moving. I want you to switch right over to Pete. You know what? He's got planks and more push-ups. You people are crazy, and I love you for it. So have a great day. Have fun with Pete. I'll see you there, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.